Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a buying guide overview of the fragrance house BDK Parfums. Founded in 2016, this is probably one of the fastest growing luxury niche brands on the market today. Renowned for their extreme luxury and very classic yet modern fragrances, this is probably one of my most favorite, at least the top 3 niche houses in my collection. And in fact, I think it's one of my top numbers of bottles that I have from one house just because I do enjoy them so much. Founded by David Benedek and manufactured in Paris, all of their scents are based around bringing to life raw materials. And you're going to find that theme throughout the house of BDK. Very classic perfumes with a nice modern twist. So we're going to go ahead and start with the #1 heartthrob from the brand, Gris Charnel Eau de Parfum. This fragrance has just taken the world by storm with this very cozy, warming tea scent. If you love like chai tea lattes, spicy tea fragrances, you are going to really resonate with Gris Charnel. So the notes in Gris Charnel, we have cinnamon, fig, black tea, and iris with a bourbon vetiver with sandalwood and tonka bean. This opens. It feels like a warm hug. It's one of those kind of dimensional, slightly gourmand scents that just have a very calming effect on you. And it also has something to do with the tea in this as well. A lot of people, like from reviews that I've seen with this fragrance, the best way that people describe this scent is like a warm cup of tea, like a warm cup of chai tea on a rainy day. This is the kind of scent that you want to wear when it's dreary outside, when it's gray, and it's just going to bring a little bit of comfort and life back into just the aura of the day. In the Eau de Parfum, they do also have the extrait concentration, which we are going to talk about next, but in the Eau de Parfum particularly, it definitely has this kind of herbal opening with a very green orris butter. It comes off very velvety smooth in this, kind of like a nice irisy chai latte. And I like that this has this gourmand side, but it's not overly gourmand. It doesn't smell like food. It's very easy to wear, very dimensional. It has this really nice kind of creamy sandalwood underneath that kind of adds to this overall just very creamy feeling that you get with Gris Charnel. Very aromatic and floral. And I think that that's why a lot of women prefer to wear the Eau de Parfum and more men tend to lean towards the extrait, just because the extrait is going to have a darker side. It's going to have some added kind of slightly masculine notes to it. This is so well composed, can be worn year round, any season, but I would say it's probably going to be better for fall, winter, spring, just because of the scent profile. It's just a very nice dimensional tea scent. So now we're going to talk about the extrait concentration. This one came out a few years after the Eau de Parfum. It's going to have very similar notes, but it's going to have an added cistus incanus, Madagascan vanilla, cedar, and patchouli. So instantly with the extrait, you get a darker, more mysterious scent profile. Still unisex. A woman could easily wear this, man or woman, just because of this dark side. I think that more men tend to reach for this. And also because of these added darker notes, this is going to be better for the cold weather. This is not something that you should wear just like lightheartedly in the summer in the high heat. It's not going to work very well, but this will be beautiful if you live somewhere where you have actual seasons where it's colder. This is going to have a little bit more sweetness in the Eau de Parfum as well, less floral, and it's going to be even less creamy and a little more lipsticky. They kind of bump up the iris note in this and a little bit spicier as well. Super, super spiced iris chai tea latte, but a little more on the cosmetic-y, lipsticky side, and also more gourmand leaning, just because it has less of those florals. This is going to have added performance, slightly smoky, very sensual and enticing. So next we have another heartthrob from the brand, Rouge Smoking. And this is a very unique fragrance. Cherry, vanilla, kind of a Dr. Pepper type of vibe, fizzy, kind of bubbly with this cola feeling in the opening, a little almondy, kind of goes hand in hand with cherry. The notes, we have bergamot, pink pepper, cherry, black vanilla husk, orange blossom, heliotrope, tonka bean, cashmere wood, musk, ambroxan, labdanum, and violet. You're gonna get some floral feelings in here, but I get mostly heliotrope with just a little sprinkle of this orange blossom and violet. It's that heliotrope and that black pepper combination that really gives it this very fizzy feeling, this very bubbly cola feeling. This also has a very similar kind of velvety undertone that Gris Charnel has. It's a very, very modern floral fragrance. It's a darling from the house. It is so unique to wear a fragrance that smells like this. And if you are a cherry lover, you need to try this because I promise you this is unlike any other cherry that you've ever tried before. Very sophisticated and dressy, but at the same time, a little bit edgy and very cool. Just overall, it's a very cool perfume. If you love the idea of like a cherry cola, like a cherry vanilla cola fragrance with some florals, Rouge Smoking is one that you need to try. Next up, we have Velvet Tonka. As the name would imply, this is going to have a giant blast of tonka bean and almond. Honestly, it's everything that Vanilla Sex tried to be by Tom Ford and failed miserably. This smells to me like what I picture when I smell Velvet Tonka. It smells like Christmas at home. This is definitely going to be more of a situational type of fragrance for most people, unless you're just the type of person that just you love very sweet, kind of like almondy vanilla fragrances. This is something that you could wear every day if you wanted to, but for me, it feels like the holidays at home and it takes me there mentally. So in that way, it just kind of lifts up your spirits. The notes in here, we have almond, orange blossom, tobacco, rose, tonka bean, bourbon, vanilla, amberwood, and amorous. What I get out of this fragrance is mostly tonka beans, almonds, and vanilla with just a little slight touch of a spiced tobacco. The tobacco in this also kind of leans more on like the incensey side. It's not like a dry pipe tobacco or tobacco leaf. It's a little incensey. This fragrance is very deep and very dense and a little bit on the linear side. You're not going to see a lot of transformation with this scent, which is not a bad thing at all. Kind of like an amaretto, almondy tonka. This is a fragrance that is a must in your winter rotation. And once again, if you live somewhere where it's colder, this is an absolute must to try. So next we're going to move over to their exclusive collection. We have Ambre Safrano. You can tell it's the exclusive collection because of this darker sticker and also the juice color. Gorgeous. So the inspiration behind this fragrance is golden saffron blended with amber smoke. Very elevated and very refined. This is going to be your night out type of scent when you really want to step out and make an impression. The notes in here, we have saffron, black pepper with a plum accord, rose absolute, olibanum, black leather, oakwood and sandalwood, and vanilla bean extract. This is a gorgeous combination. When I smelled this for the first time, I was shocked because I love very plummy notes, like a very jammy, plummy accord in fragrances, like things you will find in fragrances like Blonde Amber by Clive Christian. It is jaw-droppingly good. Show-stopping. It opens with this blast of amber and saffron, a very nice kind of exotic feel, and you do get some leather from the get-go. But what I like about Ambre Safrano is that the leather is slightly camouflaged. It's definitely there, which is why this is going to lean just a touch masculine, even though any woman could wear this, I think, because it has this jammy, plummy side. But the leather in this might not be for every woman out there, because you definitely get leather right from the get-go, but it's underneath, like it's not at the top of this fragrance. Very woody from the get-go as well, like a very kind of dry woodiness. It contrasts really beautifully with this more jammy, plummy side with this kind of dry woods, dry leather and woods. It's a very dark plum as well, almost even leaning on the side of like a licorice note. Very complex. It's dark and mysterious, but somehow at the same time, aromatic. It's not too heavy. You're not gonna wear this and feel like it's something that's too thick or that it's weighing you down, which is why I really like it. There's something about this, something about the saffron that gives it some aromatics to it. I will 100% wear this for a date. It's not going to be for every woman out there. I think that men might lean a little bit more towards this, but if you're looking for something with a dark, sensual side, Ambre Safrano is a great place to start. I love the dried fruit feeling in this, and it has a giant wow factor, really impressive. So also in the exclusive collection, we have Tabac Rose. This is a very bold statement, but I will 100% stand behind it. With my experience with Tabac Rose, this is one of the absolute best unisex rose fragrances on the market today. Really, really stunning, unique, slightly gourmand rose that is an absolute powerhouse. Very vibrant and very, very unique. So in here, in the notes, you're going to also have a nice plum note. We're going to kind of give you this dried fruit feeling, but there is more sweetness here. It's a very sweet rose. With pink pepper, we have Italian lemon, Turkish rose with chocolate, cinnamon, tobacco, patchouli, and Spanish labdanum. The opening of this is so beautiful. Tobacco and rose is such a stunning combination. Kind of like a chocolate covered plum is the best way that I can describe this. Because the chocolate is not too much, but it's definitely here. And it's a very realistic kind of, it's not a bitter chocolate, but it's a dark chocolate. It's very sexy, very romantic. You're mostly going to get a very bright, kind of juicy rose with this chocolate and plum. And tobacco, of course. It's a very special fragrance. Classic luxury in today's world. If you are a lover of rose fragrances, Tabac Rose, you need to try this fragrance. You will be mind blown. And it is very, very, very strong. This will last 24 hours easily. So next we're going to talk about a fragrance from their Azul or Blue collection. We have Via Neroli. This is going to be your spring and summer, more casual daytime fragrance. It smells incredibly natural. Of course, as the name would imply, we're going to get a lot of neroli and vanilla, but it's not too sweet. It smells like your classic summer in Europe, summer vacation. You got your white linen outfit, you're yachting on Lake Como. It's really beautiful imagery, very luxurious. We have neroli, petitgrain, lemon, orange blossom, rose with a bourbon vanilla, cashmere, vetiver, patchouli, and moss. I also really appreciate what BDK does with cashmere in their fragrances. It's one of my favorite notes in perfumery, if not my #1 note in all of perfumery. It just has a way of making a fragrance smell so elevated, so expensive and next level. Like there was some thought put into it, you know what I mean? There's something just so soothing about it, but very rich smelling. And I love how they include it in a lot of their fragrances, and it just comes off so beautiful. This smells very upscale, very smooth and distinguishable cashmere. And neroli is also a very, very kind of elegant floral. It's just going to be the perfect fragrance for you for the spring, for the summer, when you just want to wear something that's upscale, elevated, but it's not going to be something, you know, like a typical scent, like your typical blue designer scent. You want something that's a little more refined and natural smelling, more classic. And there's something very beautiful about neroli in the summer as well, especially on a man. All I can think about when I smell this is an Italian summer, tan skin on a beach. It's heavenly. Via Neroli. So next we have Crème de Cuir. This is going to be a beautiful unisex leather fragrance. Very interestingly done too, because when you smell this, your mind is not going to directly go to leather. It's a very fresh and zesty, fruity leather scent. I really shouldn't even say the word leather because it's more like a very nice, subtle suede. We have pineapple, grapefruit, mandarin orange, bergamot, white suede. It's the best way to describe this. Once again, it's not a true leather scent. It's going to be more of a very smooth, light suede. Very different. We have black and pink pepper with sandalwood, cashmere, and once again, vanilla, musk, and birch. I love how BDK does the cashmere in their fragrances. I think that's why I love the house so much, is because you'll kind of see that it's a theme that they use a lot of cashmere. And I think that that's why I relate so much to the fragrances and why I have so many of them. The best way to describe this It's a very unique way to do a leather suede fragrance. It's incredibly creamy and soft, not overbearing in any way whatsoever. It's probably the most like elegant way to do a leather suede scent. Very, very, very different with the fruits in this because it's very kind of slightly tart and a little, not sour, but it's not like over the top juicy or anything like that. Like the way that this citrus is done in this, when I smelled this for the first time, my first thought was like a lemon biscuit. It smells more like the peels of the fruits. I think that's the best way to put it. It smells like fruit peels. It's just so different. Very, very cool for a woman to wear something like this. Also going to be great for the summer. One of the very few like suede-based fragrances that I would recommend to wear in the summer because of this fruity feeling in here. And just the overall like density of it. It's not a very thick scent. The performance is going to be on the lighter side. You're still going to get some good longevity with this, but don't expect it to be like flying off of your skin. Very cool for a woman to wear, but also very classic on a man. All of their fragrances are perfectly unisex. Definitely an underrated fragrance from this house, Crème de Cuir. So next we have one of their newer releases. We have Ce Soir Extrait, which means not tonight. This is a very fruity, sweet, like summer cocktail in a bottle. We have a lot of amped up notes from the eau de parfum. We have pear, ginger, mandarin orange, cacao pod, black pepper, quince peach, Moroccan jasmine, orange blossom, cashmere and patchouli, ambroxan vanilla and benzoin. This opens like a floral fruity cocktail from the get-go. Also, you're going to get a big dose of vanilla and ambroxan. That's the only thing in this that I think is going to be possibly off-putting to some people is just the amount of ambroxan that you're going to find in this. It is going to help with the performance of the scent, and it's going to also make the fragrance have like the biggest scent bubble on the planet, but some people can be sensitive to ambroxan, and some people can't smell it at all. Sometimes when there is a huge overdose of ambroxan in a scent, people have a hard time even smelling it. And you equally get kind of a spicy side, like a green spicy side from the patchouli. There is definitely kind of an earthy undertone to this scent. You're going to get a much stronger opening versus the eau de parfum. This fragrance is incredibly strong. I think that that's the two things about this that are going to be polarizing to people, because the ambroxan in this, but also because it is so strong, and also it has a lot of musk. And for that reason, with the musks, believe it or not, even though this is a very like fruity scent, this to me leans more masculine than the eau de parfum. This to me is like the masculine counterpart to the original. And for that reason, this is not one that I personally reach for to wear, but it's still a very like fun, flirty type of fruity summer scent. It definitely has a very loud personality, and if you like fruity, musky scents, you might really enjoy this one. So next we have the latest release from the house. We have 312 Saint-Honoré. And this fragrance was just released to celebrate the opening of the first ever BDK boutique in Paris. And the address is 312 Saint-Honoré, of course. A huge accomplishment for the brand. And I hope to visit one day. I think it'd be fun to do like a little boutique tour in Paris. It's a really beautiful homage. This is a very super elevated scent. This fragrance for me kind of takes a step away from that traditional kind of BDK DNA in the way that this is so classic, so incredibly classic, versus I feel like the other scents that I've talked about have had some sort of very modern feel to it. This doesn't feel outdated at all, but it feels like the most classy scent in their entire catalog. And the scent itself is actually inspired by the materials that make up the boutique. It's a very musky, kind of peppery iris fragrance with notes of pink pepper. You're going to get a lot of angelica root in this fragrance. Iris, orange blossom, blossom, tonka bean, white musk, amber star, and oud from Thailand. For me, this fragrance embodies everything that comes to mind when you think of Parisian chic. Very rich and elegant, but in a very carefree way. Like, you're not trying hard type of way. Very effortless and understated as well. This is the type of fragrance that you wear when you want to smell beautiful, but you don't want to be loud with your fragrance. You don't want necessarily the attention of just walking into a room and filling the entire room with your perfume. This is a very kind of understated, beautiful scent. The definition of quiet luxury, but at the same time, very fashionable. It's clean. You have this very nice aromatic pepper with the angelica root. All of these notes come together to create this kind of licoricey iris that is kind of powdery and musky at the same time. It is stunning. It's not too loud, and if you love like peppery, musky scents, you will adore this. This is something that I really like to wear, and they just had a big party for this in New York City that I got to attend, and the fragrance just deserves all the recognition. It's really, really stunning. 312 Saint-Honoré. So we're gonna wrap this up with a fragrance that is so, I don't know what happened. I think that this fragrance was released as a Harrods exclusive. And I think that for that reason, like sometimes when fragrances are in Harrods for a while, they don't really get the hype or attention that they deserve after their worldwide release. And this fragrance was definitely one of them. This fragrance might be like the #1 from the brand, the #1 fragrance in terms of the quality and versatility, but no one really talks about this. Also part of the exclusive collection, this is Vanille Leather. Crazy, crazy, underrated gem. It is a true shame that more people do not know about this scent. This is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous perfume. You get a powdery vanilla with some florals and just a touch of leather. Once again, BDK is not making these very raunchy, like thick, hard to wear kind of screechy leather fragrances. They're all very elegant, more on the suede side. And this is the same as well. It's going to have a little bit more of an amped up leather feeling than the other like leather-based scents that I've talked about. In an interesting way, this fragrance feels, along with 312 Saint-Honoré, it feels like one of the most high-end fragrances. Just the quality that's in here in these oils. It's very resinous and sweet with this touch of leather, a very clean leather. A little bit dry as well. The notes, we have violet and pink pepper, tuberose, jasmine, orange blossom, vanilla, orris, leather, benzoin, oak, and patchouli. The benzoin in this goes hand in hand with the scent. A little tiny bit balsamic as well. Gives it this very interesting flair, but all at the same time, it's not being experimental. It's not being hard to wear or to understand. It is very beautiful. Like, it's so well done that it still somehow keeps this classic feel that is in the entire house. Very ethereal. Once again, I want to reiterate, more of a suede leather. It's not a huge accord in this. It's here, but it's almost kind of like you have this kind of suede leather, equal parts vanilla, a beautiful kind of vanilla with these florals that really soften everything up in the scent. It's a very captivating scent as well. The scent trail on this is just stunning. It is a very sophisticated sweet vanilla with resins and very light kind of suede undertones. It's the most perfect, like, grown up vanilla scent, nighttime vanilla scent. It is really, truly stunning. If you guys have tried Vanille Leather, please leave a comment below and let me know what you think about it, because this is just, there's something magical about this. That sounds a little dramatic, but it's true. It's really, really true. So that was my overview buying guide of BDK Parfums. It's a very beautiful house that I think we're gonna see grow larger and larger and larger throughout the years. Very well deserved. They have something for everyone. Very sophisticated, classy scents, but in a very new age way. I hope hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment below. What is your favorite fragrance from BDK and why? I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.